Hey guys, welcome to your Monday motivation video. And today's topic is going to be how we are actually all of us are so much closer to our creative goals than we think. We tend to beat ourselves up. We tend to just punish ourselves for the fact that we are not exactly where we want to be. But my argument today is that you are not miles away, but you're like a couple feet away from reaching your creative goal. And when you find that energetic match, it's going to happen much quicker than you think. Okay. And it's a special episode because I think this may be one of the last times that I'm going to be broadcasting and recording from this space. So this space has been so good to me. I've been here for the last 4 to 5 months. As you know, after I had to evacuate my house, we found an apartment and we've been living in this apartment building, and there's actually two. So we've been renting two spaces. This space is a studio. It's like 400 square feet. And this is where my office is. Okay. So it's like all of my equipment for my journal making, where I record my content. It's all here. And then down the hall, down the hall is a 2-bedroom apartment that we have been renting. And I shuffle back and forth between them. And the space has just really taken care of us. And it's really been this like safe haven. I think I've talked about this before, but there's so many nice things about living right here. We're basically very close to the town center. I live in a university town. And we're able to go biking on the Riverwalk paths. I can walk to a supermarket. Like I can walk to a Starbucks. Like there's so much here. So this place has been so good to us. But as you know, I have gotten the keys for the new house. And so very soon, I still haven't like wrapped my mind around it, but very soon I'm going to be packing up this office, which kind of stresses me out, to be honest, because there's just so much to pack and there's like heavy things too. Like this hole punch machine that I have has got to be 100 pounds. Like this thing is so heavy. My huge ass printer, like basically I am, going to be transitioning out of this space. But I think this is the last time that I'll probably be recording like a full length, YouTube video here. So I just want to just share my gratitude for this physical space that has like taken care of me and like welcomes me with open arms during this like insane time. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was sort of an encouragement to you because I want you to remember that you are so close to getting everything that you want. I know it feels like a struggle, and I know that it can feel absolutely impossible sometimes, especially if you're in a dark moment and you're like, I'm literally like walking aimlessly through the desert, like walking aimlessly in the dark. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. Here's the point that I want to clarify. When you have a desire, when you have a dream, okay, usually this dream is not 100% clear. I don't think anyone has like total perfect clarity, but you get a hit, you get a download, you get a little bit of a vision, right, of the life that you want, of the creative projects that you want to do, of the process with which you want to be engaged, right? So this could be like, I want to write a book and I want to have that feeling of having a book deal. And then I want to be in the process of writing that book. Okay. Having a specific dream like that, or being like, I have been a home baker for years and now I want to like open up my own micro bakery or my own small shop, right? So the reason that there's pain associated with this is because the vision is clear and your desire is strong. And so when you have those two things, you're very sensitive. Okay, you're very emotionally attuned, aware. You're very sensitive to what's currently happening. Okay, so if you wanted to open this micro bakery, all you can think about, we kind of get into the weeds a little bit. All you can think about is how you don't have a micro bakery and you don't have the time. You don't have the right mixer. You're thinking about the table that you might need. And do you need a bread baker's table? Those are too expensive. Like, you're just using your home oven, right? So you're thinking about these things and you're thinking about why things are not exactly as they are in your mind, because your mind is this beautiful architect and it can see the vision for all of these things. And then when your outside reality does not match that, that's where the discomfort comes in. But what I want to say is that when you're in that state of actually wanting something, okay, I want you to remember that this is actually like very rare. Because most of the time, yeah, we want things, we want to go to the gym, we want to eat better, we want to meet up with our friends, like we want things. But it's not a yearning. It's not a deep desire, okay? When you're in a deep desire state, it actually makes you vulnerable. It makes you vulnerable because you want something that you don't have. Okay, but I'm going to argue that being in that state is actually, you're in this posture, you're reaching, you have a vision, but you don't have it yet, okay? So when you're in that posture and you're vulnerable, like your underbelly is exposed, you're vulnerable because you're literally like reaching for it, but you don't know where it is. And you see other people have it and you're just like, right? That's the posture that you need to be in to create things. That's the energy, is a yearning, a seeking energy. And when you want something, when you're looking for something and you don't find it right away, when it's not just like falling into your lap, it hurts. Or if you're reaching, right? Imagine if it's a physical movement, you're reaching for something. It hurts to hold your arms up. You ever do like these like yoga postures and you're like, this is so silly because I'm literally just like holding my arms above my head. This really shouldn't be that hard. But then after 2 minutes, you're like, I think my arms are going to fall off, right? You have to be in this posture if you're going to get what you want, okay? But holding this posture is difficult. It's painful for your muscles. It makes you sore. Okay, but this is literally just doing that, my arms hurt. So what I'm saying is, then you're like, oh, why does everything hurt? Why is this so hard? God, I'm never going to get it. Yeah, you're never going to get it if you put your arms back down. You're never going to get it. But you're so close. I mean, you just have to keep moving around and reaching and grabbing and trying things. Eventually, you'll get there. You'll get there. I also want to talk about this other nuance thing that I've been thinking about, which is, why does it sometimes feel like then when I get the thing, it's not like underwhelming, but it's not this like huge crashing joy that I imagined, but rather it's more muted. Like, how come it feels like that? Okay. And I want to dispel something, and this is like for my own brain as well. Okay. But I think oftentimes when we are yearning for something, okay, it sometimes feels like the common language that people use is around like climbing a mountain or some sort of battle or some sort of war, right? So it's like when you reach the peak, or like when you get to the pinnacle, or like after you've fought all the demons and monsters on your way up the mountain, right? There's a lot of this like up the mountain language and mythology around like reaching our goals, right? Which isn't wrong. Like a lot of it is an uphill battle. We hear that every day. But I think that the reason it we don't get this like rush of the downhill moment. Like if you've ever actually gone on a hike, after you get to the top, there is the lovely part of like coming down the hill, right? Down the mountain. We don't necessarily get that same rush because I don't actually think that reaching our goals is this sort of peak movement, this sort of like up and down movement. I think it's more that I see it as more on a horizontal plane, not a vertical one, where it's like we have a desire. We program ourselves to then operate at a certain vibration, right? The vibration of I have a micro bakery, the vibration of I have found a space that's going to take care of me, even though that seems impractical and crazy. By the way, I found this apartment the same day. What? What? Okay. Or that vibration of I'm going to have a book deal. I'm going to be a signed artist. Even the vibration of I'm going to make a YouTube video. Like it's all the same yearning feeling, right? I feel like it's that we are just out here almost with a flashlight looking for the vibrational match. We're not necessarily climbing a mountain. We're not necessarily like beating our feet up, running up some hill. It's more that we're just walking around looking for that vibrational match. And when we find it, instead of this like glorious, sweaty achievement moment, it's more of this natural like handshake. Like, oh, you were looking for me, I was looking for you. And so maybe that's why it feels more neutral. It feels more like natural. Like it's kind of like when like the best kind of friendship, for example, is a friendship where it's like effortless. Like we could both just like sit here and lie around on our phones and we can share a hotel room and like both use the bathroom and not be like pee with the door open, like not be weird about it. Like the best kind of friendships, the best kind of relationships, the best kind of creative goals are ones where it's just like, I see you, you see me, we're chilling, and we're all just gonna like be here existing. And that's cool. Like that's the energy that I'm going after. And it's like, I really think about too, it's so funny, like with the house. So so silly. I signed a 6-month lease because we started on a 3-month lease here. They were so nice to like make an exception because we came in and we were so haggard. We were like, we had to evacuate our house. Please, can we have a 3-month lease? Because we didn't know what was going on. And then I just re-signed a 6-month lease because in my mind, I was like, we're not going to find, it's going to take a while to find a house. Okay. And there was this road that I had been like eyeing that I swear to God, I know this sounds like a lie, but it's not. I had dropped my kids off at school and something like overtook me. So imagine like you drop your kids off and you're coming this way. Okay, obviously then you like turn back around and go back the way you came, right? This day, it was like a regular Tuesday or something. And this was months before any of this happened. This day, I was like, let me keep driving. Let me go past the school and keep driving. What? Why did I do that? Let me just keep driving. And I went on this street. It was kind of like a mount into like the mountains, into the hills, okay? And I was like, I just feel like I want to drive here. I just feel like I want to drive on this street. I'm so drawn to this for some reason. Mind you, none of the stuff with the house had happened. I had a full ass house, okay? We weren't moving. But I drove down the street and then I remember it was like kind of rainy that day. And so I kind of got a little spooked and I was like, oh, okay, I can't be like driving on this like random street in the rain by myself, like, a mile and a half into this like random street. And so I made it a little ways, but then it got a little rainy and I was like, oh, okay, let's go home. And then I made a U-turn and I turned around. But I remember in my brain just being like, I would really like to live here one day. Please tell me how that makes any sense. Okay? But I think what I was doing was I was listening to the call. I was listening to the yearning of that. Made no sense logically, but I was like, I'm just gonna you know? And that's your dreams at work. When you feel those little like impulses and pulls, like you just do it. You just do it because I still in my mind, and I remember talking to a real estate agent who we didn't end up working with, but I remember talking to him and being like, yeah, so what I'm looking for is like, I literally said the name of that road. I was like, I'm looking like that road, and I'm looking for like a small house on a bigger property. And he was like, oh, I grew up in that area. He's like, I know that area really well. My kids went to school there, blah, blah, blah. So he like was an OG. And then he was like, well, they don't really come up very often. They don't really come up. He wasn't being an asshole, but he was just being like honest. He was like, it doesn't really come up that often. That's a very specific girl. He was like, that's very specific. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's just like what I'm looking for. I don't know. Just long term, that's like what I'm looking for. He was actually helping my parents look for real estate at the time. It didn't end up happening, but that's why we were having that conversation. I was like, yeah, in my dream, like this is what I would want, like on this road, like blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then I full on signed another 6-month lease because I was like, well, I'm just gonna have to be patient. And like now that we're in a position to actually get a place, which we're so lucky, I was like, I'm just gonna wait. And my energy was like not urgent. Like I hadn't even looked at anything. Do you know what I mean? But I just energetically was like, I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just see what comes up, And so I do feel like by the way, yeah, it is on that road. Like it is, okay? It is on that road. It is on that freaking road that I drove on, okay? And so when we found the place, it very much felt not like some huge explosion. It just felt like a recognition, like, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Like a handshake, like a reach across neutral handshake. And I think that is what at least I'm going to try to train myself to not expect fireworks and explosions and all this like up and down madness all the time. Like sometimes when you are so close to what you want, it just feels neutral. I don't know how to explain it. Please let me know if you experience this and what other kind of like coincidences or serendipity that you're going through. I would love to hear. Okay, and as always, this video is sponsored by me. Okay, so as you may have known, I have a YouTube membership program, and through that, I do members only, like exclusive content. I prioritize like responding to members' comments, and I also do a lot of like posting for members only, so like polls, just in conversation with you guys. I've done private live streams before. I'm just always trying to like experiment with different things and connect with you guys and just have this relationship. It's a way to support the channel so that I don't have to work with sponsors. I know that sounds silly and maybe I should at some point, but for now, I really like creating my own programs and being able to just grow in the way that makes sense for me. Not like, I think honestly, I'm so traumatized from working in advertising where I was like always managing clients. And I'm like, now that I have my own YouTube thing, like I just don't want to be like, hi all, just checking in. Here's the latest collateral. Just wanted to see what you thought of this video. Like, here's the timeline. Like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'd rather spend my energy creating my own things that I can manage and run and not have a boss that, not that they're a boss, like they would be paying me, but we're just not there yet. So, this is what also I send out a thank you gift. It's when you sign up, it's a one time, you get a thank you gift. And every month I kind of get new stock in, I get exciting, cute things. So here's what you would get if you sign up in August. So look at all of these these are all these little puffy animal keychains. Oh, they're falling. Look, this one is an axolotl. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, you also are gonna get a notebook. I always send out a notebook with some stickers. And I have these Sanrio pens. I just put them in this random Starbucks cup. But I have these Sanrio pens, these two variations that I've been sending out, which are so cute. So I have maybe about like 10 left. So if you are already a member, thank you so much. It really just makes such a difference in my life. And I really appreciate you and love going on this journey with you. Oh, and last plug, if you've made it this far, I do have a new journal out. I haven't really promoted it on YouTube. It's mostly been on TikTok. I am going to do more of like long form stuff going through this journal at some point, but this is my newest journal. It's called Start Your Business, and it is a 25-page journal that I wrote. I also obviously make all of these in-house. And there's a digital version for $25 and a physical version for $28. I ship anywhere in the world. So you can check this out, link in bio. Okay, thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.